Hey y'all, I'm Lindsay Schooler and this is Happy Goat Yoga, and welcome to a 30-minute chair yoga practice. Nearly anybody can do this practice. If you have a chair without any arms, great. If not, maybe come to the edge of a couch or the edge of a bed. You can have a padded chair or a hard chair, whatever you've got is okay. Even perfectly able-bodied young folks can benefit from this practice, as we all can. So scoot forward to that front edge of the chair to start, so that you're already having to hold yourself upright, to sit upright and get comfortable. Take some shoulder rolls and begin to link them to your breath. So inhale, shoulders up to your ears, and exhale them slowly back and down. We'll do that 2 or 3 more times. Inhale, roll them up. Exhale them back and down. Again, inhale to roll them up. Exhale back and down. Once or twice more, breathing deeply into and back out through your nose, as long as that's comfortable for you. Now let your arms shake out and hang down along your sides. Let's do 1 or 2 more here. Inhale them up. Exhale them back and down. A little bigger range of motion without the hands on the lap. And now we'll take that healthy spinal range of movement. So inhale, lift your heart, your chest. If it's comfortable, lift your chin. Exhale to tuck the front of your body in and around, seated cat pose. Inhale, spine extends, seated cow pose. Exhale, spine round, seated cat. Once more, inhale, spinal extension, stretching the front of the body. Exhale, spinal flexion to round, stretch the back. Come up, back, and down with a big shoulder roll or 2. Remember, everything is optional. Let your own intuition, your heart, your physician be your guide. Bring one hand down to the chair or down along your side. Breathe the other arm up and over. We're coming into lateral flexion now of the spine, side bending. So you could do this without the arm if that's more comfortable. No force, no strain, just another breath here. And then up and over to the second side. Side bending of your spine, your lifeline, lateral flexion. We did front to back. Now we're working the sides of our spine, our body. And then last range of motion is a gentle twist or rotation. So twist gently to one side. Sit tall, breathe deeply. Be grateful for this breath, these lungs, this body, this life. Press firmly into your seat to stretch the top of your head to the sky. Soften your eyes, your jaw, your shoulders. Take another breath here in your spinal rotation. And then inhale, unwind. Option to float the arms up. If it's comfortable, you could look up. And then exhale to gently switch sides. Maybe a hand to the back of the chair or to the seat of the chair behind you. Deep breaths. It doesn't matter how far you twist. What matters is how tall do you sit and how deep and rich is your breath. This most vital life source of energy. Gratitude for this next breath as you sit tall. Just twisting to comfort, just challenging that edge of comfort as you turn from your navel, your heart center, and your forehead. And then again, slowly unwind, sitting tall. Option to float the arms up, perhaps to look up. And then bring palms together, exhale them to your heart. Take a breath in through your nose and a sigh out to let it go. We'll do that again, so go for your nervous system. Breath in through your nose, sigh it out, let it go. Shake it out. We'll warm up our core. Bring your heels to the ground in front of you if you're able to. Sit tall. Toes and heart turn to the sky. And then gently lean back. You might be able to tap your back against the back of the chair. You might not go that far. Don't round. Keep a tall spine, your core engaged, and then gently sit back up. Twice more. Lean back, keeping a straight, long spine. Maybe you tap. I'll show you from the side. Heels are grounded, toes are up, leaning back just to challenge your core, and then back up. This time, lean back just to where you can stay and breathe a couple breaths. Lift your chest, draw the belly in. Now, you can always rest hands lightly on the chair for some extra support, or reach hands forward if you're able to. If you want a little extra challenge, just for the next couple of breaths, alternate lifting one foot and then the other. Keep lifting your heart, deepening your breath, engaging your core, that spinal strength. If you have tons of energy to burn and you happen to be a particularly agile and strong person, you might try lifting both feet, but we'll all just take another breath there wherever you are, and then slowly release. Wiggle walk your feet about hips distance and lean forward onto the knees if this feels all right. Take some deep belly breaths here. Now, your spine is long and strong and aligned. Now, bring one forearm across, so hand to the knee, elbow to the thigh, and then hand on top of hand and gently twist. No force, no strain. Draw the belly in to protect your spine, open your heart center, deepen the experience you're having with your breath. If this feels quite safe, you might extend that top arm or wrap it behind. You could bring some simple movement there to the wrist if that feels safe. Take another breath here in this twist. And then with your breath out, slowly come back through center and switch sides. So pause for a moment between, and then gently begin to twist the opposite way. Take a breath or two, press your hips into the seat, lift your chest away. You could extend this arm or wrap it behind you gently, or keep hand on hand, of course. Look whichever way feels best to your neck. Continue throughout this practice checking in with how it feels to your spine, and are you able to breathe? Those things are most important so we can feel grounded. You know, the words are a mirror image up there the way I'm recording, but let that sign be your reminder to ground back into your practice, back into your breath and awareness of your spine. Coming out of that twist just when you're ready. Now you could stay here. If you feel called to come back upright, please do. Or if it feels safe to fold farther forward, you're welcome to do that. If it's accessible to you, you could keep leaning on the knees or let hands come to the floor. Just take another breath. And then slowly come all the way back upright. And now we'll stretch our hips with a seated lunge. Some of this practice here in just a bit, I'll offer some standing variations, but you can do the whole practice from the chair as well. So turning to one side, and then you're gonna let this front hip come off of the edge of the chair if you're able to, so that you can wiggle walk this back. Now, some of you might be really tight in the front of your hip flexors. That's okay. See if you can flex that back foot and wiggle it back. So if you're barefoot or in your socks, that's really ideal here. You can energetically press that heel away as you sit tall to stretch your psoas, the front of your hip flexor, to lengthen and really open things up. You could have a hand on the chair for support here, a hand to your belly or your heart. Some of you might feel quite safe to extend one or both arms overhead for a few deep, slow breaths. Into and back out through your nose. You might need one or both hands on the chair for support, or if it feels quite safe, you might interlace hands behind or just rest one hand behind. You could have one hand on the chair for support and wrap one hand. Take another breath here in this twist. Now we'll stay facing to this side. Just gently draw that leg over and then scoot to a place that feels comfortable for you. We'll take another spinal twist. So sitting nice and tall, turn gently towards the back of the chair. If you're able to, you're gonna bring one hand to either side so your hands are right across from one another. Hands are level, so try to level out your shoulders here. Take some slow, deep breaths. Feel both feet firmly planted on the floor. And just when you're ready, slowly unwind, come back around to the front, and we'll take that seated lunge to this second side. So take your time to try to scoot this front leg and hip and sits bone even just off of the chair. You can grab the back of the chair here for some support. Again, flex that foot if you're able to, and press the heel back. Maybe wiggle walk the foot back again to deepen the stretch to the front of this hip flexor, but no force, no strain. Going too far can often be counterproductive to our purposes. So working with your body, meeting yourself where you're at today. Staying hands on the heart and the chair, or extending arms overhead if this feels safe to you. So yes, we want to challenge ourselves physically and mentally in our yoga practice, but we want to do so with mindfulness and compassion as well. You can rest one or both hands behind. Remember that chair's here for support. Maybe lift the chest. And then when you're ready, slowly coming into your twist, facing this new direction. So distribute your weight equal on both sits bones in the chair and twist gently towards the back of the chair. Again, try to level out your hands so they're right across from one another. Then level out the shoulders, sit tall and deepen your breath without force or strain, leaning into the natural alignment of your spine, thereby allowing breath to flow more freely as you soften the musculature, soften the story in your mind that you might be telling yourself if you have any self-judgments at any time. When you're ready, slowly unwind from your practice and come back around to the front. This is the part where we'll come around to standing. So if you have a yoga mat behind your chair, that's wonderful. If not, you'll be quite fine. You want to make sure if you have socks on though that you're on a sturdy surface. I'm just gonna make sure my phone keeps recording. So take your feet apart a bit wide as is comfortable for you. You can heel toe the feet apart wide, and if you're sitting in a chair, you'll do the same. Just wiggle walk the feet apart wide. And now turn your right toes towards you, towards the front, and your left toes out to the side. And now keep your belly and her heart turned towards the chair, and you could have the hands there for support. Gently bend that left knee, lifting the heart, coming into warrior two. Now, you can keep both hands on the chair or extend your left arm out and turn to look over those fingertips. You might feel called to take your feet apart wider. Take care that this front knee isn't coming forward of your ankle. So try to wiggle into a wider stance if so. You have the chair here for support for one or both hands, or you might be able to extend both arms out. Take a deep breath here. And then if you need to, hand back to the chair for support. Turn your left palm up, press into the left foot and reach the left arm up. Keep that strong lunge, reverse warrior. Take another breath here. And now straighten both legs. Reach to the left, press your hips to the right, and then bring your left hand down. Stretch your palm and fingers wide. Now, you could stay here with one hand on the chair. You might be able to extend that right hand to the sky, and if you need, the left hand can come to the chair. Trikonasana, triangle pose. Take another breath. Use the strength of your core to slowly come up when you need to, and then rotate your feet. So left toes turn forward, right toes turn to the side. Keep the heart turned forward, belly forward. Just reach your right arm out, look to the right, and bend the right knee. Take care that the knee doesn't fall towards the big toe. Open it wide towards the pinky toe. Squeeze and press into both feet and legs. Lift the chest. Use the chair for support as you need to, so that you're honoring yourself, keeping yourself safe in the practice. Reverse your warrior when you're ready. Right hand will go up. Of course, left hand can come to the chair, or it can relax against that bottom leg. Take another breath here. Strong from the waist down is key. Strong in the belly, strong in the legs. Breathe softness into the upper body, and then straighten both legs. Press your hips to the left. Reach to the right. Right hand low, palm wide. Left hand can go high if you're able to move without the support of the chair, or right hand can come. So either hand can come to the chair, or one or both hands can extend away. Use the strength of your core, your belly. Come all the way back up, and then wiggle walk your feet in a little closer together. Turn your toes out, heels in, and sit low as if you're going to sit right into this chair. Take a deep breath or two into this strength. And then slowly come all the way back up. Now, wiggle walk your feet back in, and we'll take a modification for downward facing dog. So I'm going to turn to the side just so that I can show you here, but you can stay where you're at if you're able to. You're going to bring your hands to the chair and just start to walk your feet back. So we're aiming to stretch the chest and the shoulders and the lats. So bend your knees and draw your belly in like you're trying to tuck your tailbone so you support your lumbar spine. And now let yourself stretch just to comfort. You can lightly rest the wrists or hands on the chair perhaps, or get a nice firm grip if that's what you need. And begin to let your heart melt towards the floor. Take some deep breaths here. Be aware that your chair might move, so make sure that you're stable and safe. Let your hips gently press back. Let your heart and ribs and breath find some space. Take another inhale here. And then slowly use the chair to re-support to come all the way back up. Now, one standing balance pose that you can use the chair for or not. I'm going to set it to the side just so that you can see, but if you have the chair right in front, that might be quite handy. Shift weight to your right foot, and then squeeze and press that foot down. Squeeze your legs, squeeze your belly, and turn your left knee out for Vrikshasana or tree pose. Bring your heel against your ankle, and then press the foot against leg, leg against foot. You can have one or both hands on the chair, or you can bring one hand to your heart if you're able to. You can keep the ball of the foot down here in this kickstand as you just build the foundations of your balance practice. If you have a balance practice already, you might be able to lift the foot against your calf, or some of you may even bring it high against the thigh. But you do want to go higher or lower than the knee, not right up against the knee. And it's okay to keep that kickstand if you're just building into the balance practice. In this tree pose, root down like a tree would, breathe deeply and grow. You might extend one or both arms overhead if you're able to, or continue to use the chair for support. Take another big breath in here, and then breath out, slowly release. You can give it a little shake, shake the tension out, shake the sillies out, and then shift weight to your left foot. Press down with the sole of the foot, squeeze your knee, your thigh, your glutes, turn your right knee out. Heel against ankle, ankle against heel, so that counter pressure. Just like a tree would, press down as if you're growing roots. Stand tall, breathe deeply. One or both hands to the chair there to support you. Kickstand can stay tapped down or foot pressed against calf, calf against foot. You can keep one or both hands on the chair for support or bring them wherever you're able to. Take 2 more breaths here in this balance pose, Vrikshasana, tree pose. Take another deep inhale. Sigh it out, exhale, slowly release from this shape and come back around to a seat. Scoot forward to the edge of the chair, again, and no rush to catch up. Cross either at the ankle, or if you're able to, if it's accessible, you can cross at the knee or thigh. This is a great alternative to sitting typical cross-legged, the way that we often do in an office chair, or way more often than we realize. So gentle stretch to the hip here. If this feels like plenty of a stretch, you want to sit nice and tall and breathe deeply. If you have some capacity to stretch a little deeper, you might hinge forward. Lead with the heart, not with the head. Again, we're finding that edge of comfort and trying to expand our comfort zone, trying to increase our strength and flexibility, but not at the sake of our welfare and well-being. So bring that mindfulness, compassion to your practice, that love and kindness to check in with how things feel. Just when you're ready from this side, slowly release and we'll switch. Again, you could cross at the ankle if the knee isn't accessible to you. You may or may not feel as deep of a stretch there. Leaning forward or just pressing gently open, sitting tall, crossing at the ankle or thigh. If you're at the knee or thigh, you may want to flex this foot and ankle for safety and comfort, mostly to protect the knee. So you always want to check in with your spine, your breath, your joints. Keep those lines of communication open between you and your body, how things feel. Lengthen your spine, re-support it, deepen your breath. Take another breath here on this side. And then when you're ready, gently coming all the way back upright. And we'll take a heart opener. So reach back. If your chair has a back, you're going to grab the sides of it. And then just gently lean forward. So I'm going to turn to the side just to show you. If you're able to reach back, grab the chair, make sure everything is nice and stable for you. And then just gently lean forward. So however high or low really feels right for you, just to get a gentle chest stretch. So our tendency might be to force this or go really deeply into this stretch. But it doesn't take much to counter the effects of all the time we spend reaching forward all day. And no judgment against ourselves in that. Life happens in front of us. We have to reach forward for everything. But showing yourself some love and some kindness by countering that repetitive movement so many of us have. Take another deep breath or two here. Of course, you could stay longer or come out sooner. And just when you're ready, coming all the way back upright. And now scoot back to the edge of the chair just for one last little bit, a little ankle roll. So bring your heel to the ground and then try to trace the whole outline of your foot. So a little ankle mobility. If you're wearing a shoe, you're going to try to trace the whole outer edge of your shoe. You can add some wrist circles as well if that doesn't make things too tricky for you. You want to pay attention to what you're doing. Now trace it the opposite direction. So the ankle rolls the opposite way, trying to trace the outer edge of your foot or shoe, circling your wrists, and then shake that all out and switch to the other foot. So bring your heel down, slowly begin tracing out the edge of one foot. And imagine that your foot is the pencil and your ankle is the hand that's guiding it. So try to make the movement come from the hand, from the ankle. Bringing some circulation, blood flow there. Reverse that direction. And again, you could add in some wrist circles. Stretch your jaw, roll your eyes, sit tall, reconnect to your breath. Stretch your fingers like you're playing the piano. And stretch your fingers wide. Take a big breath in. Breath out, give yourself a hug. Stay here for a breath. Self-love, gratitude. Next inhale, open up. Exhale, hug with the opposite arm on top if you can think of it. Maybe bow the head, take a breath. Really squeezing yourself up here, hugging yourself with as much love as you would another loved one. And then open all the way back up. Relax your arms down, scoot all the way back against your chair. So make yourself comfortable here as you scoot back. Try to keep both feet planted firmly on the ground and equally. And just start to lean in. You might still have a tall spine here if the seat supports that. Soften your eyes or let your gaze drop to the floor. Begin to breathe into and back out through your nose. You can let hands rest on your lap, palms facing down or palms facing up. If you need to feel grounded and centered, you might turn palms down. If you need something, you want to be open to possibilities, turn palms to face up. You could also bring a hand to your belly, a hand to your heart, and take a few more slow breaths here, breathing in gratitude. Thank you for this breath. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this body. Thank you for this life. Thank you for this heart, these lungs, these eyes, these hands, these feet. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. You might bring your hands to rest upon your heart for a breath or two. Keeping your awareness within, honoring yourself, body, mind, and soul. Continue resting here in this mindfulness for as long as it serves you. I hope you've found something or some things in this practice that may serve you in the future to do a little bit each day. Self-development, self-inquiry. This is our gift to the world. Do good for yourself and one another. Take care. Take a deep breath in. A deep breath out if you like to bow to the light and the dark in us all. Peace. Namaste.